Okay, so an object is launched straight up with a velocity of 33 meters per second, strikes the ground at the same elevation from which it is launched. When is it at the top? How high does it go? Total time is it in the air? What is the velocity and an elevation of 45 meters? Okay, so I think the first three, I think we can solve with the same one here, right? So this object's going to go here, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, strike the ground, right? So let's go from the ground to the top, right? X, VI, VF, A, and T. Let's see. We know the initial velocity is 33. Positive 33. We know at the top, right here, right? Its velocity is 0, because if it's not 0, it's not at the top. And the acceleration is negative 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay, so now we are set. I think we can solve all of these. I'm going to choose to solve for x using no t. Okay, so that's vf squared is vi squared plus 2ax. Right, so 0 squared is 33 squared plus 2 times negative 9.8 times x. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 33 squared, right? And I'll put that on this side, so it's 1089, right? Right, and if I put it on this side, it's negative 1089 equals 2 times negative 9.8 times x, right? So now I'm going to divide that by 2 and by negative 9.8. And I get 55.56. Okay, so that's the answer to one question, I believe. And then the next question is, oh, I guess we answered how high does it go, right? Okay, so 55. And now we can find t. I'm going to use VF is VI plus AT. So 0 equals 33 plus negative 9.8 times t. Okay. So let's, basically that's just going to be 33 divided by 9.8, right? So that's 3.67 seconds. Okay. Oh, 3.367, sorry. Okay, so that's our 3.4 seconds, our 56 meters. We've gotten that, right? How about total time in the air? Well, gee, it's going to be 3.367 up and 3.367 down, and so the total time in the air is that times 2, right? You add them up, and so the total time in the air is going to be 3.367 times 2, right? So I get 6.73 seconds. Okay, so that must be this answer here, right? Okay, but now we've got to do it over again. We've got to figure out what its velocity is at an elevation of 45 meters, right? So that's going to take a little doing here. Okay, this is 55.56 meters. Here is 45 meters, right? So it's going to pass that, I guess, going up, and it's also going to pass it going down. So that's interesting. It should have a positive velocity answer and a negative velocity answer. But how can there be two answers? That's a mystery, right? Well, let's just set this up, right? We're going to go x, vi, vf, a and t. X is 45 meters, right? Initial velocity still are 33 meters per second, right? Final is not 0 because we're not at the top, so we don't know what that is, right? And then the acceleration is negative 9.8. And now we're set. We can solve for this. So we want to solve for VF. Again, I'm going to use no t. Okay, so I'm going to go VF squared. Right? So VF, the absolute value of it anyway, right, is the square root of, what, 33 squared plus 2 times negative 9.8 times 45. I'm just going to type this all into my calculator all at once. So square root, left parenthesis, 33 squared plus 2, that's my dog, times negative 9.8 times, somebody's home, it's pretty exciting. Okay. And then we're going to square root, so I do a right parenthesis there. She's so excited to see anyone. That must be really boring. Okay, so the final velocity, the absolute value, is 14.4, right? But this is the absolute value. That means it could be positive that, or it could be negative that, okay? Positive or negative is correct because it's the square root of a square, right? And so it's going to be positive 14 meters per second on the way up, and it'll be negative 14 meters per second on the way down here.